how do we find our Guru within ourselves? For those who are not fortunate enough, as he was saying, he lives in Brazil, to be in a place like this, in the presence of the enlightened masters. How do I find the Guru in myself? Well, the first piece of that is that the light of the Guru can find you wherever you are. There are people who have Gurus who have passed away, who were in a body but have now passed away, but who maybe didn't even know the Guru when the Guru was in a body, and have become disciples of the Guru since the Guru left his body or her body. So the light of the Guru actually isn't bound by these laws of time and space like we are. If I wanted to learn how to do Indian classical dance, for example, I'd really have to find someone who could actually physically teach me how to do Indian classical dance. And that person would have to be ideally alive, standing with me, turning on the music, taking my legs and showing me left foot, right foot. But the light of a Guru is such that it doesn't actually have to be in your physical presence. So don't feel like living in Brazil means that you don't have the possibility of connecting with the Guru, not just within. We'll come back to the Guru within, but you also have the possibility of connecting with a Guru in form. Of course, both of which are just reflections of the same truth. It just very frequently is a lot easier to see it, to hear it, not to ignore it, not to misinterpret it or misunderstand it or rationalize it in the way that feels good to us when the Guru is actually physically present. So don't assume that you won't have that possibility. Second piece of that, before we get to the Guru within, is don't assume that you might not find a Guru living down your street in Brazil. The divine comes to different people in different ways, and that Guru might not wear orange robes, might not chant in Sanskrit, might not refer to the divine in the names of Krishna or Ram or Shiva or Durga or Ganga. Could be the man selling apples on your corner, or the woman selling apples on your corner. So those two pieces I wanted to give you first before we talk about the Guru within. But then, of course, even when you have a Guru in form, or if you don't, that light is always within. What the Guru does is shine the light within us, just illuminating that which is already there. It's not like the Guru takes a syringe of, truth serum and injects us with it. And now suddenly the truth is there. What the Guru does is brings the light. It's like what we were speaking about last night. Brings the light to remove the darkness within us. But of course, the Guru doesn't necessarily have to be in an outside physical form as well. It's just a lot easier. When we are turning to that inner Guru, that inner wisdom, unless we have a very strong spiritual path, typically what tends to happen is we tend to rationalize our own desires, our own ego. My inner guru has said that I should do this or I should do that, whereas really that's the inner voice called desire or fear. So if you're going to search for the inner guru, the first thing we need to have is absolute clarity. Absolute, relentless, fearless, egoless clarity. Because the minute that we realize how much stronger and louder the voice of our desire is, and how much louder the voice of our ego is, it's sort of embarrassing, actually, especially for those of us on the spiritual path. So relentless and fearless to look within. And then to create space for it. It's not that the guru is sitting within like a little person inside ourselves. Rather, what happens actually is that when we create space within ourselves, when we let go of that which isn't the inner light, so our ignorance, our illusions, our attachments, our anger, our identifications, our expectations, our jealousies, all of these things that really kind of fill us up inside, suffocating us, if we can remove some of those, and I mean literally just breathe them out in meditation, that's all it takes. If we can let them go, then what happens is space is created within us. And into that space flows grace. Grace is always there. It's not, Puja Swamiji always says the sun is always shining. It's not that we have to do sun salutations and sun mantras and sun prayers to create the sun. What we have to do is remove the obstacles that keep us from seeing it. So whether it's a dirty window, whether it's the curtains. And grace always is there and available for us. If you feel like you're not able to access the grace, the question becomes not, how do I bring grace? But how do I make some space within me for the grace to flow? One of my very favorite stories is a story of this man who decides he's ready for enlightenment. And he's done a lot of spiritual practice and work and sadhana. And he asks around to everyone, where's the most enlightened guru who can give me enlightenment? I'm ready for that touch of enlightenment. And everyone sends him to this one guru on the mountaintop. So he walks for weeks and he climbs the mountain and walks into the cave. And the guru's meditating and he bows at the guru's feet and he says, I've come for enlightenment. This is what I've done. This is what I've learned. This is what I've achieved. These are my obstacles. These are my challenges. And now from you I need enlightenment. And the guru says, have a cup of tea. And the man says, tea? I didn't come for tea. I came for enlightenment. And the guru says, have a cup of tea. And he goes into the back of the cave and he brews some tea and he comes back with the pot and the teacups. And he starts to pour the tea into the teacup. And he's pouring and he's pouring and he's pouring and the cup is filling and he keeps pouring and now the tea is spilling out over the top of the cup. And the man says, stop, stop, what are you doing? Are you crazy? There's no more room here. And the Guru says, you are just like this cup. You're so full already of what you think you know, who you think you are, what you think you need, that there's no room for me to give you anything. Just like I can't pour any more tea until you empty this cup, in the same way, I can't give you anything until you empty yourself. So whether the Guru is outside or inside, first we empty ourselves, and then into it flows that grace. Whether the presence of a Guru in form, whether the awakening of the vessel of grace within, either way, they're just reflections of the same.